everybody. So I'd just like to kind of explain two of the issues I saw in this video. The first one is by showing you my African model wire bicycle. I really used to enjoy seeing these in Zimbabwe growing up as a kid. And they even had cars, wireframe cars that would steer, and you'd have a stick with a small handheld steering wheel, all kinds of cool stuff. I really appreciate art like this. It's amazing. It's got decorated brake cables, seat, stand, working pedals, working wheels. It's pretty cool, huh? So yeah, as the cyclist went around that right-hand corner at the lights, from what I saw of his riding and his maneuvering, I believe that the cyclist had been intending to go around the corner and come in reasonably close to the curb as he was riding soon after he passed the motorcyclist again. The motorcyclist took a sneaky chance and overtook on the offside exactly where that bicycle was going to be in a few meters ahead. So that's why the cyclist was so upset by the overtake. Even though in the end, as he heard the cyclist and he steered away from it very slightly, there ended up not being quite the worst close pass I've ever seen, but pretty close to it. So I'm really entirely unsurprised at why the cyclist was angry about that. Okay, then, secondly, we have the moment where you see the motorcyclist hits the cyclist and the cyclist's wristwatch gets knocked off from the right-hand side and flung over to the pavement. I'm showing you it this way around so you can kind of understand what's happening. So I think the motorcyclist just dived in and gave kind of a brush pass on the cyclist. I'm not sure exactly whether he took his hand off and hit the cyclist in the wrist or not, I don't know. But the end result was that the cyclist handlebars were knocked a little to the right, which then caused the bike to lean over to the left and steer into the motorbike. So it was really very, very close indeed. And I think you kind of see the front of the bike bouncing off the motorbike's exhaust, or at least that's what it looks like to me. To explain why that happened like that, let's look at countersteering. Essentially, bikes steer by countersteering and of course balancing, as you know. But to make a left turn, what you do on a bike is you'd very slightly steer the right wheel to the right. It's very, very small. It's almost more a pressure than a movement, which is why most of us don't even notice ourselves doing that. When you do that, the law of conservation of momentum keeps the bike and the rider carrying on straight. And what it does is that steered to the right front wheel pulls the wheels over, leaving the bike in a left-hand lean. Then, of course, you steer into the turn so that you don't continue falling over and hit the deck. But then once you have that lean turn, this is the bit most of us notice, that we're now steering a little left and going around in a left-hand turn. So I think what happened is the motorcycle hit the cyclist, the wheel was steered slightly, the handlebars were steered and the front wheel was steered slightly to the right, and they then swerved into each other. Okay, so the result of the video was that the motorcyclist was disqualified for 6 months and ordered to take an extended retest before regaining his license. He was also fined £1,000, £1,500 court cost, £50 payment to the victim in compensation, and I believe £100 victim surcharge, which goes to victim support charities, not the victim. And yeah, he was found guilty of dangerous driving. He was charged, I believe, with dangerous driving and with assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm, or something along those lines. At least that's all what the cyclist told me. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If so, please give me a thumbs up. The other button works fine too. And subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, and bye-bye.